Learn so much just by looking at this array of people. You realize this is just a small swath of all the various small and large operations that are all united by the idea of just helping other people. All right, here is the final tally for the 10th annual SAY Detroit Radiothon. Up on that screen, the number is... Woo! Wow. Oh, I said wow again. $1,650,540, which means we have broken the $10 million mark in 10 years. Wow. Folks, I am overwhelmed. I am humbled by all of this generosity. From the big, huge gifts to the small ones, every dollar means the same thing. Thank you all so very much. This money will go to fantastic use. Well, it will go to fantastic use, and that was about 4 months ago. And we always say the happiest day, second happiest day is when we raise the money. The first happiest day is when we give it away. For those who are here for the first time, SAY Detroit, which was formed in 2006, now celebrating its 16th year in existence. And what started with a column written after spending a night at a homeless shelter has blossomed into a very large organization that operates 9 separate charitable programs underneath its umbrella, ranging from children 5 days old at daycare centers all the way up to senior citizens and everybody in between. And one of the wonderful side benefits of doing this radiothon is that we feel we have continuing partnerships with some great organizations.
We're going to start with Parker Village Solidarity. In 2021, Parker Village Solidarity supported citizens in Highland Park with food distributions and operated a small-scale farmers market. They also provided fresh vegetables on a weekly basis to the SAY Detroit Family Health Clinic. This year, they want to add more garden beds, provide more delivery service, get more food out of the ground and onto the plates of the Highland Park residents. SAY Detroit would like to give you $10,000 this year.
Thank you very much. You know, I greatly appreciate not only the opportunity to serve the community here in Highland Park, but I definitely appreciate your organization for helping us to do that.
Mother Beatty herself was walking down the street one day in Detroit and heard God's voice tell her, you need to buy that building over there. And she turned it into a soup kitchen, and it has been feeding people for decades. And even in Mother Beatty's passing, Antoine, her grandson, is able to keep it going and, in fact, improving it. Things were actually a little different in 2021 for Mother Beatty's because hot meals were served from the building on Wednesdays. Packaged meals were loaded onto trucks by volunteers and taken around to different locations in Detroit to be handed out. On Thursdays and Fridays, meals were hand-delivered to people who couldn't leave their homes. And once a month, Mother Beatty's Soup Kitchen would have a barbecue. SAY Detroit, Antoine, is happy to up our donation. Last year we were able to give you $8,000. This year, $10,000 for your continued community service.
Yes, it still brings chills to me, the point that what happened with my grandmother and how she, her spirit still lives on. And yes, we see during the pandemic how that delivering food was so effective. And so now we're going to continue to deliver food to those who cannot get to us and continue to do hot meals 4 to 5 days a week. So we really appreciate it. Thank you, Mitch.
Our next recipient is Cass Community Services. Now in 2021, this was really interesting. Cass Community Social Services launched the first year of its Sustainability Institute, which is a 6-month job training program for people who are interested in securing green jobs. Many of these students are developmentally disabled. And these students learned about global warming, renewable energy, recycling, avoiding toxic chemicals, landscaping, farming, protecting the lakes and oceans. This year, Cass will not only continue the Sustainability Institute, but will be implementing a green corridor that includes a 1-cup car wash. Funds will be directed towards job training and employment for the developmentally disabled adults, where there is a staggering rate of over 80% unemployment. We have with us Melinda Conway Callahan, who is Cass Community Social Services Major Gifts Consultant. And today we would like to present you to help you operate this wonderful program with a check for $25,000.
Dignity is really important in the homeless community. And with COVID, it's been a pretty tough year, a couple of years. And the Sustainability Institute provides jobs, and part of our adult day program, they're taking advantage of it. And we had over 96% of our graduates get jobs last year. So that's the great news. As you know, we're doing 700,000 meals a year and providing homeless women and children home every night for 350 of them. So it's we deeply appreciate what you do and the impact that you're going to make at Cass. Thank you. It's godsend.
We started to get involved with Detroit Hives. I've had their honey, which is out of this world. And in 2021, through their Be the Change program, which hosted in-person and virtual tours for hundreds of inner city youth to learn about the importance of urban pollinators and to help ease the fears and misconceptions around bees. Did you know, for example, that according to the Honeybee Conservancy, 1 in 3 bites of food that we eat gets pollinated by bees? That's pretty incredible. Think about that the next time you swat one of them dead. Detroit Hives is not only transforms vacant Detroit city lots into bee habitats, they educate thousands of youth on how important bees are to our ecosystem. Tim and Nicole, as I mentioned, who are the co-founders, have hosted activities for kids all over the city, including kids at our SAY Play Center in Lipke Park, as well as visited many schools and colleges in our area. And 2022 is poised to be an exciting year, a transforming of 6 more vacant lots, reaching thousands more Detroit area youth with the Be the Change program and their brand new project, the State Fair and Hoover Pollinator Parkway. Last year, we were able to give you $6,000. This year, we're going to up that to $7,000 to help Detroit Hives. How's the bee business?
Oh, it's going great. We're so ready for the season. Super loaded, as busy as it could be.
Bees don't get COVID, do they?
No, bees don't get COVID. You know, their main diet is nectar and pollen. They get tons of sunshine, and yeah, they don't get COVID, but they do have threats as far as mites, lack of food sometimes, and chemicals that we have to look out for.
Bing Youth Institute. If you recognize the Bing part of that, that would be Dave Bing, our former mayor. It was created to impact the lives of young men of color around the city, in our schools and neighborhoods by caring for their academic, behavioral, and social wellness. It's my honor to present Bob Warfield, the Institute's Chief Operating Officer, with a check for $5,000 to continue their important work. Bob?
Thank you so very much. You know, every time I come to this gathering each year, I'm both intimidated and humbled when I hear the work that's being done all around the city. So we're real successful in the mentoring end. Things are going well. We're having our 5th graduation class this year, anticipating our 5th 100% graduation again. Yeah. But during COVID, we made a switch and made a pivot from looking at COVID as a challenge, but looked at it as an opportunity for our boys. And so now we have, with the help of Kellogg, launched our skilled trades program. So now we're training African-American boys in the basic skills of painting, drywall hanging, plumbing, and electrical engineering.
Since it opened its doors more than 100 years ago, Chad was here for that, I was not. The Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries have rebuilt the lives of hundreds of thousands of people whose lives have been destroyed by addiction, homelessness, poverty. Part of their approach involves treating the whole person to make permanent change, and they do it through a plethora of targeted programs and a lot of heart. Last year, we supported their Women and Children's Treatment Program, and this year, we're proud to support their Genesis House 2, which is a shelter specifically for women and children. And I am proud at this point to present Dr. Audi with a check for continued operations for DRMM for $25,000.
When we look at the screen now and we look at how many people are benefiting from the work that you have been doing throughout the whole year, it just amazes us. We thank you on a personal level and on behalf of the people the 2,200 people, and the 5,000 meals that provide every single day to the people that we serve. Today, Michigan Veteran Foundation is a transitional housing program and service center that can accommodate 129 homeless veterans. There are hundreds of homeless veterans in the metropolitan Detroit area, and this program fills the gap in the current service delivery system and acts as an advocate on behalf of the disenfranchised veterans. In 2021, the Michigan Veteran Foundation Transitional Housing Program served 3 meals a day to the formerly homeless veterans, purchased PPEs, and continue operating the computer lab with the new equipment. The veterans are now able to make video calls to their families and friends. The greatest need for 2022 is funding the ongoing nutritional meal program with healthy and balanced meals for each one of our veterans. That is the first step in healing. Please welcome also my good friend, Raida Debaja, CEO of Michigan Veteran Foundation, and please accept our donation of $15,000.
Our first step in healing our veteran is with a healthy, balanced, nutritional meal. We really appreciate you guys so much.
Joining us for the first time today, the People's Action. Negus Vu is joining us. Everyone calls him Vu. So Vu is the president of the People's Action, a grassroots organization which uses community outreach programs to connect with community members and build rapport by providing critical resources and services to under-resourced families and individuals. They serve 2 areas, the West Chicago, Livernois area and the Cody Rouge neighborhood. For the 4th straight year, the People's Action has been successful with their Adopt a Block initiative, a year-round commitment aimed to build a stronger community in poverty-restricted neighborhoods. They partner with residents to increase the level of engagement and become active in solving problems. The People's Action vision is to rehab an abandoned building with the help of the community and make it available as a resource center. The center is called Building Blocks of Love and would be equipping the underskilled residents with employment readiness, basic computer skills, financial literacy classes, and more. They'd also like to have a community garden and a place for the children to safely interact and play. This, in our view, is a great vision of how to make Detroit better neighborhood by neighborhood. And so, Vu, please accept this donation of $5,000 and welcome to the SAY Detroit family here.
Just seeing everybody on here that's doing a tremendous work. I'd like to partner with everyone to some capacity. SAY Detroit, thank you so much. I'd just like to briefly go over how this would impact the work that we're doing. We're going to continue to do capacity building, professional development with young Wayne State College students, continue to upscale our resources for funding to maximize direct services, financial literacy, life insurance, job referrals, lawn service, free meals, and also political advocacy work to over 1,819 households, which is potentially 4,547 residents. And lastly, we're going to also contribute some of the money to purchase cleaning, lawn care equipment, zero turn more, and several other things. So thank you so much, SAY Detroit. It's a pleasure to be a part of this welcoming family.
I want to say hi now to the West Side Cultural and Athletic Club. To me, of course, that just means Erica Wright. She's a hero to all of us here. This is now her 46th year providing free activities for kids, teens, senior citizens. Her all-volunteer staff are former participants. The program includes mentoring, sports, arts and crafts, neighborhood cleanup, conflict resolution classes, African-American history, field trips, Halloween, Christmas, and an annual community reunion picnic events. She's with her daughter-in-law, Carrie Wright, who also works with the program. This year, we're upping it to $12,000, and we're so happy, Erica, to continue to support your amazing efforts.
You're the reason I keep going. I'm 76.
So in 2021, Westside is going to continue with the sports, basketball, kickball, softball, and they're going to introduce golf. They're going to have a golf instructor so the kids can be introduced to a new sport. They're going to continue with the community reunion. picnic on Sunday and softball for their participants and parents. In 2022, that took place in 2021. In 2022, the contribution that you're giving us, Mitch and Dr. Aldi, will continue with sports and park cleanup, mentoring, the African American History Program, nutrition, educational table games, and field trips. So thank you so much, Mitch.
And Sunday softball for the participants and the kids. We got them together, thanks to you.
Over the years, the SAY Detroit Family Health Clinic has grown and grown. It's grown just beyond children, then to women and mothers, and eventually even to men. And I can't say enough about what has happened there and what Tawana Nettles Robinson and her staff have done since we started partnering with them in Trinity Health. From being on the front lines in the pandemic battle and opening a new pharmacy to our patients, we have added several new community outreach programs like Wellness Wednesdays, Women's Support Group, and the First Year program, which helps new mothers that have no supplies for their new babies. SAY Detroit Family Health Clinic provides free examinations, maintenance, and preventative health care for the underinsured men and women of the Detroit area. Tawana has done an incredible job. She's like Atlas holding up the weight of two worlds there. And she oversees the clinic as part of Trinity Health Support. And we are pleased to ask her to accept, to continue these wide swath of reaching thousands of people every year, a check for $100,000 on behalf of the SAY Clinic.
It's just been such a joy to see how far the clinic has come and how much more we can serve the community. And, you know, even being here today, I'm just so impressed about the opportunities to collaborate with so many great people and so many great organizations in Detroit. And so, you know, thank you for the opportunity. It's really been a joy for me. This year, you know, you talked about some of the stuff we've been doing over the past 2 to 3 years, and moving forward, you know, our foundation is that we help move whole communities forward. And the base of that is always good health, right? You really, nothing can happen in our communities to move us forward if we're not talking about opportunities for good health so people can really sustain a lifestyle that's conducive of moving communities forward. And so this year we implemented behavioral health services to help people deal not only with trauma and traumatic incidents in their personal lives, but as a result of COVID. Again, we've done a lot around medication adherence, making sure people can have access to medications regardless of their ability to pay. And like you said, a lot of chronic disease programs that help support diabetes prevention, even chronic disease support for diabetes and hypertension. So a lot of great work happening in SAY Detroit and in the Highland Park area. It's been a pleasure to serve, and your team has been amazing.
The mission of the Sasha Center is to find ways and means for sexual assault survivors to express themselves and heal from rape and sexual abuse. In the summer of 21, the Sasha Center added 2 additional support groups, which were conducted outside with fresh air and exercise, which is very good, obviously, for trauma survivors. 23 more survivors were helped compared to the same time the year prior. These sessions took place at a non-disclosed location on the east side of Detroit. SAY Detroit funding helps by providing survivors with backpacks, food, clothing, and hygiene products, as well as assistance with bills, housing, and transportation needs. The Sasha Center would like to continue sessions with women and girls aged 16 or older by providing a series on sexual assault and safety as they transition to college, and provide even programming for boys and men. The executive director of the Sasha Center, Kalima Johnson, is with us right now. Last year, we were able to provide $12,500. Kalima, please accept our donation this year of $15,000 for the good work you do at the Sasha Center.
Thank you, SAY Detroit, for being a supporter of our programming for so long. I just want to let you know that our funding has been so short, and just to know that you upped it a little bit, that's so much. It's just a gift, and I really, really appreciate it. On behalf of our survivors, on our behalf of our board and our faculty, and especially those who volunteer for our program, we want to say thank you. And we are so excited, and it's no coincidence that you have me come right behind the Family Health Clinic, because I've been calling them every day. We're going to figure something out very soon to have more intentional additional meetings and opportunities for community to have trauma-informed care and services, because at the end of the day, sexual assault is about helping people lower their isolation, helping people gather themselves and feel good again so that they can enjoy all parts of the world and enjoy every blessing that comes to them. And I just want to say thank you again for allowing us to have our Family Fun Day in August at SAY Detroit. We want to do that again next year. It's a joy to be here, to hear all of you getting the awards that you're getting today. Ashe and amen.
Mama Shu kept Avalon Village pretty well on schedule in 2021, despite the pandemic restrictions. They continued with their regularly scheduled programs and events. The exciting news is the STEM lab and the homework house are physically completed. Thanks to SAY Detroit's donation last year, the commercial grade refrigerator, the food prep table, and miscellaneous kitchen supplies were all installed. Avalon Village held several events, including the 10th annual Hood Camp Urban Survival for today's youth and the 10th annual Reggae in the Hood event. There was also the 5th annual Sunboy Records Music Camp and the first ever Super Science Sessions for youth ages 1.5 to 11 years of age. Mama Shu is an absolute treasure for the community. Anyone who knows her would describe her exactly that way. And we're happy to present Mama Shu with a check once again for $7,500.
Thank you so much. Thank you for adding us to your list of spreading love and support. Once again, we've been building up the homework house and we're so very excited. Last year, as you stated, we got things for the kitchen, for the food and all of that, and expanded what was needed in the kitchen. This year, we're so excited to be offering actual activities and after school programming in September of 2022. Simultaneously, we want to have programming available in the STEM lab, which is also ran by solar. It's heated and cooled by solar. And all of our buildings and infrastructure, we're working to have it with green infrastructure. In the homework house, we have the geothermal heating and cooling as well as the solar roof. So we're excited to do that. And we want to add to the list of things needed for the STEM lab and for the STEM program, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics here for the children here at the village. What is it? A smart table, a 3D printer, things like that. So that's what that donation will help us move forward to that. And thank you so much. And it's really wonderful to be here with everyone else. And we appreciate you. And we appreciate everyone spreading the love, making everyone healthier and wealthier and feel more beautiful in our society. Thank you.
I'm always happy to talk about our Detroit Dream Scholarship Program because it's kind of morphed from the original thing. It's now provided financial help for young artists in the city who would not otherwise have had a chance to attend the wonderful College for Creative Studies, which is a prestigious place to go, not just here in Detroit, but on a national basis. Detroit Dream Scholars has actually provided nearly $600,000 in awards and benefited 20 students since the scholarship was first created in 2011. I want to tell you about the 2021 recipient. Pierre Harris is enrolled in the Entertainment Arts program, and Pierre shares in her own words, quote, "Since this scholarship, I'm able to attend the school of my dreams. I have the opportunity to learn from great teachers in small classes. I 100% believe that because of the Dream Scholarship, I'll be able to reach my artistic goals. There's never been a more important time to support the deserving minority art and design students from Detroit who don't have the financial means to go to college. So we'd like to present the president of the College for Creative Studies, Don Tusky, with a check. Last year, we were able to do $40,000. This year, we're upping that to $45,000 for this year's scholars."
As Mitch said, it's really important to make sure that we're inclusive with art and design education. And our goal is to have more and more students from Detroit to be able to go to College for Creative Studies. And so we're dedicated to having even more students come to CCS, because artists and designers do make an impact and do change communities and make them better. And one of the things that they're expected to do is do projects, murals, mentoring in the communities, in the neighborhoods, in Detroit as part of the scholarship. And that is just a phenomenal way of setting it up. And artists and designers really have been historically making really positive change in the world, and to support them like the SAY Detroit and the Dream Scholarship, Mitch, I can't tell you how helpful that is to our students and how thankful we are and they are that you provide that opportunities to so many great students in Detroit to go to College for Creative Studies and major in their dreams and their passions to be creative professionals in the world. So.
My name is Rick Kelly, and I'm the Executive Director of SAY Detroit. And Don, I wanted to thank you. You just gave me the perfect segue here. Practical problem, practical solution. I'm very grateful that I get to talk about our next program, which is Better Together. The program seeks to bridge the gap between communities and law enforcement through dialogue, raw honesty, fellowship, and food. Without knowing who the other guests are, law enforcement officials and residents gather together to grill a meal, break bread together, and talk about issues relevant to what is happening in their lives and neighborhoods. We've done, my sheet says several dozen. I think we're well over 30. Daryl can confirm that for me. Over the past 21 months, we have all sorts of exciting programming scheduled for the next year. But this is all thanks to our leader, Daryl Woods, who spearheads and is the catalyst of this program and leads our discussion groups. And Daryl is a local activist and minister. It's the driving force, taking our program to new heights, including the strategic infiltration into school systems now and getting in front of more kids where great impact and inroads have been achieved. So I've been blessed to get to know Daryl the last 2 years and call him a friend and a brother. And I'd like to invite Daryl today to accept $25,000 check on behalf of Better Together and to say a few words about his program.
Absolutely. It's a tremendous blessing to be in this space. Full circle moment with Mitch, Rosie, Rick, Trish, and the whole SAY Detroit team. We have done some miraculous work within the past year to be able to engage law enforcement communities throughout the region. We are now in other cities. We are on college campuses. We went into juvenile facilities. We went to substance use facilities and throughout the Metroplex just to bring law enforcement together. We have the state police, the county sheriffs, local police, and even today we'll be on a college campus. We are bridging the gap and empowering lives and for creating relationships. So it's a tremendous blessing, a tremendous honor to be able to do this life-saving work. There are 2 substance abuse recovery centers that operates under the leadership of the Detroit Recovery Project President and CEO, Andre Johnson. The Detroit Recovery Project is a peer-led, peer-driven initiative which hires men and women who have lived the experiences of recovery to then in turn help others seeking to obtain long-term recovery from substance abuse disorders. This year, a newly developed Youthful Survivors Recovery Center program targeting youth between the ages of 13 and 18 is in need of donations. The services these young people will receive include tutoring, learning about the dangers of alcohol, tobacco, and other drug usage, trauma-informed care, self-esteem, and self-confidence building. SAY Detroit is happy and enthusiastic about providing $5,000 towards the Detroit Recovery Project New Youthful Survivors Recovery Center program. Andre Johnson, would you like to have some words with us?
But I've been blessed to start an organization and be here 18 years. And I would be remiss not to mention the first 5 years in business, I couldn't afford an office space. But I had somebody like Chad Audie that gave me space in Highland Park, gave me space on the east side of Detroit, and gave me that space 5 years, rent-free, no cost, never flinched or nothing. And so Chad, I love you. You like my brother, and I appreciate what you've done because that laid the foundation and that laid the groundwork for our organization to continue to work towards some sustainability. And watching you all evolve and grow, and then me participating, particularly in your marathon last year, was just mind-blowing. Watching how you move and operate and continuously work vigilantly to raise money for not only the Say Yes Foundation, but all of us sitting here on this platform. I think we all would thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It's just an amazing program that fosters good conversation and good dialogue.
Kevin Harrington started Youth is the Truth 2 short years ago. Kevin started this program while after serving 18 years in prison. He was wrongfully convicted and released. Youth is the Truth has played a major role in the transformation of inner city youth and families from a town with too many unproductive, unsupervised kids with too much time to get into trouble. When someone is heading towards trouble, we do our best to show them different options and better choices. We are mentors for these young people for the real life experiences. There are mothers, there are fathers who cannot provide for their kids, and Youth is the Truth will always find a way to give a hand up. Youth is the Truth served meals at Thanksgiving and over 3,500 children with free coats and toys for Christmas in the Inkster area during the pandemic. Youth is the Truth also uses the First Serve life skills curriculum to empower young people by providing local activities in schools with a life skill program that promotes positive values, healthy habits, and education through workshops that result in real life power. Kevin Harrington, founder of the Youth is the Truth, we are happy to present $7,500 to you. Thank you, Kevin, for your work.
I'm really, really humbled to even be a part of this panel, and very humbled to see all the work this going on in the state of Michigan. Like, this is a powerful group. A special shout out to Mr. Woods for even introducing me to these guys. And this is for sure a full circle moment because, I was a part of those grilling events. I was a part of those different things, going into the youth center and the juvenile halls, talking to these people, not about what I'm doing, but what I can do and aid someone else. So when it comes back on the flip side a year later, say, hey, we want to sow into your organization and what you're doing. This is for sure the core of how you keep moving it forward. And today, it's just a powerful thing to see so many people that stand and putting their boots on, and it's on the front line and saying, I'm just not going to sit in the office, but we're here on the streets and we're really active putting in this work. And I just want to say I appreciate you guys, and we're going to keep pushing forward. And anybody on this panel that need me and my group, which is a small group, we'll be there and willing to help out in any way we can. And it's Kevin Harrington Jr. He said hello.
Future leader right there. SAY, dedicated to serving the Hispanic community in Southwest Detroit for decades. With the 2021 SAY Detroit donation, LaSed expanded the hybrid youth enrichment programs to include much-needed mental health, wellness, and vaccination pop-up clinics, which provided over 3,000 vaccines from February to June of 2021. The isolation the students experienced also increased abuse, both physical and emotional. We've seen that elsewhere. The addition of a part-time master's licensed social worker to the youth team allowed LaSed the opportunity to provide counseling services for both parents and children. This year, LaSed continues to focus on the youth enrichment programs and the expansion of the counseling team that includes an intern from Wayne State University School of Social Work. So we're happy to be able to up our contribution from $12,500 last year to $15,000 this year.
I'm not speechless very often, but generosity just blows my mind of this whole group. Thank you for allowing LaSed to be part of these amazing organizations. Just allow me a minute of emotion. I mean, these past 2 years have been sometimes overwhelming. The funding from SAY Detroit did allow us to bring on board another part-time master licensed social worker, because unfortunately the kids that were in an abusive home before, during the past 2 years, were in an environment where they were a prisoner in their own home with their abuser. And we were able to assist a young woman out of that situation and provide her mom and her siblings with the support they needed to press charges against the abuser, and are really healing.
They use recycled materials to help people of all ages and abilities to think, learn, and create. They've been serving Metro Detroit through the Community Creative Reuse Store and STEM programming for 33 years. The unique blend of creativity, environmentalism, and innovation has helped to serve over 2 million children and reuse over 1 million tons of material over their history. Arts and Scraps hopes to reach over 500 more youth this summer with STEM programming through art integration. And so this is the first time that we're able to help them financially, even though we have been helping them volunteer-wise for years. So please welcome their Executive Director, Ange Adamak. And please accept, Ange, $5,000 for a first-time gift from us to you at Arts and Scraps.
It's truly an honor to be with you guys. Everyone said it, but I literally have like 2 pages of notes of people I want to reach out to partner with. And, just being among this illustrious group is a gift in itself. And we're so excited to use these funds to continue to serve community members and children across Detroit. And we're so thankful for the ways that we've been able to partner with SAY, whether it's been volunteerism or working with SAY Play in the past. And we're very excited to continue this relationship in this way and hopefully be able to partner with even more groups here. So
Otis Bellinger created Building Better Men. We got to know him through our SAY Play Center out there in Lipke Park. The mission of Building Better Men is to enhance the social, academic, mental, and physical development of underprivileged males from ages 7 to 17. These young men are exposed to outdoor activities like tennis, golf, skiing, soccer, fishing. They attended classes on public speaking, on art, on chess, on cooking, on health and nutrition, mixed martial arts. They're also exposed to different vocations like music production, engineering, dentistry, coding, culinary arts, website development, the list goes on. As a result of participating in the Building Better Men program, the goal of these young men will become productive members of their respective communities due to the time, effort, and direction put in by members of the Building Better Men facilitators. And we're very happy to continue to support Otis and his group with a donation of $15,000.
We've done just so many different programs, right? People would say, why do you do so much? And then I would say, why not? Because our kids deserve it, right?
Notes for Notes operated their Detroit home base out of the SAY Play Center basically since the day we opened it. They're a top-level recording studio program that provides youth an outlet to support and express, learn, and create through music. They have instruments where they teach kids how to play, recording equipment, podcast equipment, you name it. 221 was filmed with exciting events and creative opportunities with over 800 recording sessions, reaching 176 youth in the Detroit area, both in person and virtually. They made songs, they did podcasts, they did poems and more. Engineering singers, musicians, rappers, producers, and music engineers given unique opportunities to develop their crafts. And some of the Detroit youth got the opportunity to attend the Kings of Leon concert with VIP status and gave them a chance to speak with music professionals and experience live music and projects. Producer for Notes and Notes Detroit, Lolly Tolbert, is here with us, and we'd like to present the group with $10,000 to continue their great operation.
Keep it on my grave up now. Yeah, y'all done woke me up again. All right, I had to start with that. That was our youth Elijah. Thank you. I wish, I'm an artist myself, so I wish growing up I had access to the studio time and the music learning experiences and the music mentoring and programming that Notes for Notes provides. And so serving the youth of Detroit by facilitating spaces for that creativity and that expression is truly a priority for Notes for Notes and the entire Notes for Notes team nationwide. So this donation definitely helps to make that happen. Thank you so much again for helping us to create more songs, podcasts, music videos, jam sessions, and music-related trips. Thank you so much.
Each year, Working Homes, Working Families sets out to rehab 3 houses and at least 1 community park, changing lives and communities for the better. Navigating through COVID and supply chain challenges, We were able to complete and give away 2 homes to 2 deserving families in 2021. Now, there are many reasons that families find themselves homeless, oftentimes for reasons outside of their control. But thanks to social service agencies like Matrix and LISED, families are identified who can pay the utilities and taxes of a home that we refurbish, can remain employed, and manage the home's upkeep in order to achieve home ownership. We've done this for over 50 homes, all scattered throughout the city of Detroit. And Rosie, Mark Rosenthal is his real name, in case you didn't know that. We're going to present this check to you on behalf of the organization, $150,000 donation to rehab 3 more homes and a park over the course of this year.
On behalf of all the families whose lives are forever changed and the communities whose neighborhoods are transformed, I gladly accept this funding to continue the good work being performed throughout our city. I just want to note that since Mary Carmen is on with us on this call, it's a perfect example of collaboration and partnership. The first house that we are actually renovating as I speak is 2 doors down from her office, from the LISED office. And Mary Carmen donated this house to us and will be instrumental in screening and vetting a family for us to put into this home. So thank you, Mary Carmen, for that collaboration. All the houses we have done, or I should say most of the houses over the past few years, we've had a long-standing relationship with Humble Design. They are the key to our success. They work closely with the families to create, design, and fully furnish their new yet empty homes, providing everything from beds, sofas, dining room tables, kitchen sets, books, toys, artwork, every amenity that truly make a house a home. The comfort and dignity that comes from the work provides the foundation of stability for families, a place for a meal, beds to rest and dream in, and so much more. The director of Humble Design, Chris Toll, is with us today, and it is my pleasure to donate $13,500 for help with our Working Homes, Working Families effort.
We love working with you all year in and year out. And I think, the group here overall, everyone who's here today, every organization, all of your staffs, we are all a collective. We're all out there in the neighborhoods working week in, week out, day in and day out, and helping folks. And so that's the true honor here, is everything that SAY Detroit does to bring all of us together.
Transportation is one of the biggest challenges within the communities we serve, whether it be for school, work, medical care, grocery store, recreational activities. Kids and adults can best be served with a mode of transportation. We created Micical instead of bicycle, get it? Micical, with the intention of refurbishing used bikes and assembling new bikes, distributing them throughout our communities, and having a program which can provide jobs for those willing to work and learn the craft of being a bike technician. We were fortunate to land this program at Marygrove Conservancy, thanks to its CEO and our friend Tom Lewan, who is providing the space, and equally as lucky to find a talented individual to manage this program by the name of Chuck Nagy. We're really happy to present Chuck and Micical, a first-time recipient, with a check for $25,000.
When I first started this, I had an idea of what I was getting myself into, but it's grown to be so much more, and it's probably the most fulfilling job that I've ever had. We have 3 employees, 2 from the Michigan Veterans Foundation and another from the Detroit Recovery Project. And I'm learning as much from these gentlemen as they're learning from me. And their enthusiasm for bicycles is kind of pushes me further. Look forward to getting bikes in the hands of people that need them and hopefully sparking some passion amongst others.
One of the first initiatives that we did when I got involved and created SAY Detroit was in 2006. It's called Bright Beginnings, and we partnered with COTS on this. Providing a safe, loving, and nurturing environment is what the families who bring their children to COTS Bright Beginnings can expect. The kids are introduced to schedules, routines early in life, some just days old, and it helps to build the foundation of learning that they'll use throughout their lives. Also, the mothers, many of whom are quite young to be mothers themselves, learn about mothering, which is maybe the most important skill that can be taught to anybody. And Bright Beginnings helps do that as well. They work non-traditional hours, and fill the needs with the help of amazing teachers. SAY Detroit funds are used to provide staff training as well as purchase much needed supplies and equipment for the classrooms. The additional materials allow the kids to have a variety of learning materials and manipulatives to use each day and still maintain the proper cleaning and sanitizing protocols needed for babies and kids of a very young age. I'm very pleased to present Kendra Dismukes, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but let's just say Kendra, a teacher at Bright Beginnings, and I want to present her a donation for $15,000 for our program.
It's just such a blessing to be here. You know, here at COTS, we're so excited to be celebrating our 40th year anniversary, and we could not do it, you know, with organizations such as yourself. You know, with COVID-19 still been a huge concern with everyone. This year, we'll be able to continue to provide the proper cleaning and sanitizing protocols. And now we'll be able to supply families with car seats, you know, to get their children back and forth to the doctor's appointments to get their shots and to do their well checkup. So that is just a tremendous thing that you guys are doing here to help us out. So we would like to say thank you so much. And the staff and the babies are so excited for this, and they just wanted me to tell you thank you.
In 2021 was the first year for the Detroit Youth Culture Youth Company, which operates out of our SAY Detroit Play Center. Police officer India Washington, who also happens to be a dance instructor, holds dance classes multiple times a week for Detroit youth at our center. And first of all, she is awesome. As her classes have grown, so has India's commitment. She's now operating programming on Saturdays. She runs a Saturday fun day. She's been able to provide tap dance shoes and gym shoes for the dance classes. And what I love also is the integration of the parents to be able to come and watch their children to participate in the dance activities. India also coordinated during this past year a family fun day where the dancers invited their families. She provided food, a bounce house, and they were able to show off their terrific dance moves. The Detroit Culture Youth Company would like to expand the program this year and enter into some dance competitions. And I know that that's something that India is very, very passionate about. But the dance troupe, they need uniforms and they need more shoes. In addition, India would also like to take them on tours of local gardens and help them with healthy eating and lifestyle choices. And with that, India Washington, please accept this donation of $7,500 to help the kids of the Detroit Culture Youth Company.
So it's been a great time. I love the kids. I do it for a purpose. I'm not, I would say, low key with what I do, but I do it without the public knowledge or public sights of it, sometimes only because I do it from the heart. This isn't about politics. I need the kids to know that I am here for them to understand their story because I have a similar story. I originally started it with the mindset of let's bridge the gap between police officers in Detroit and the youth and allow them to express themselves through the art of dance, specifically through their culture, which might be hip hop.
Hole in the Roof Foundation is also under the umbrella of SAY Detroit. Doesn't always get the same amount of high profile attention, but is just as integral to it. And it was something that we started after I got involved with a church in the area here that had literally had a hole in its roof. Snow used to actually fall down on the congregants while they were praying. I wrote a book about it called Have a Little Faith and got to know the pastor there quite well, Henry Covington. And every year we try to find a religious organization that is taking care of the poor or the homeless in the spirit of the Hole in the Roof Foundation. And this year, Citadel of Praise Church is our recipient for that. Pastor Ellis has a lot going on there. It's in Linden in Detroit in the Brightmoor community, which we've been very involved with. Not only is this a place of worship, but there are food giveaways, free lunch programs, partnerships with other churches, a Head Start program. Our Better Together program coordinated a backpack giveaway at the Citadel of Praise Church with Pastor Ellis just this past year. There's a school attached to the church where there's a Head Start program and Sunday school classes are held. 125 students each weekday from 9 to 5, participate in that Head Start program. Many outreach organizations use the school's classrooms as meeting rooms for their meetings. It makes it difficult when there is a hole in the roof. And so to help with that matter, and in the very spirit of what the Hole in the Roof Foundation is about, and really what a church is about, which is supposed to be part of the community and not separate from it. The Citadel of Praise Church is a recipient of the Hole in the Roof donation. Pastor Ellis, please accept a check for $5,000.
Again, we try to do the best we can in Brightmoor. You all know, if you don't know, Brightmoor is one of the most distressed neighborhoods in the city of Detroit, and people are not building in Brightmoor. Most of the residents in Brightmoor are renters, and they need much help, and we do the best we can. I've been inspired by everything that I've heard today and by what everybody's doing. I often say that it's not how much you do, but it's how much love you put into what you do. But after listening to everybody else, we're going to have to find a lot more love to put in what we do.
I want to welcome Rachel Felder. She's a naturalist at the Detroit Parks and Rec and works with the program Detroit Outdoors, which is a collaborative of the Sierra Club, Detroit Parks and Rec, and the YMCA of Metro Detroit. They are a new recipient for us this year. They were established back in 2018, connecting Detroit's youth with right inside our own city with nature, providing leadership training and camping gear to teachers and youth workers so they can take kids camping. Youth serving organizations like church groups, scout packs, football teams, and the like have taken advantage of Detroit Outdoors. And the leaders of these groups are trained by Detroit Outdoors naturalists and then given access to the resources and campsites in Detroit's only campground, if you didn't know what it was, Scout Hollow. It's like the camping gear ferries show up with minivans filled with backpacks, tents, supplies, and the group leaders give the kids a true camping experience. They work with rec centers in Detroit to provide nature-based programming, and along with the Natural Bold and Gold program, provide Detroit youth with outdoor trips around Michigan to explore deeper connections to the natural resources, careers, environmental fields of study, and open their eyes to the planet that we live on. Rachel Felder, please accept our donation of $5,000 for Detroit Outdoors.
We just want to be able to connect with outdoors in their own city, and for them to know like it's a safe place for them. They should be able to access it, that they can access it. And myself, I went on my first camping trip when I was 17 with Detroit Outdoors. So it's just a full circle for me, and to be able to work with my colleagues that took me on this trip and to do the same now, it feels amazing. So thank you again. We've been delighted to be on this call with everyone and hear the great work they're doing.
Several years ago, Michelle Butler and her 3 children were homeless, and she could have moved in with family or friends, but she didn't want to make her problem their problem, so she chose to take her kids to a shelter. With the help of the shelter's clergy, Pastor D, Michelle found employment through a temp service at a cafeteria at Ford. She had to have special permission to leave the normally locked down shelter at night, catch 3 buses to get to Ford to work the overnight shift. She gets those 3 buses back to the shelter just in time to get her kids off to school. Advice from a financial advisor, again, someone brought into the shelter, helped Michelle save some money, and after a few years, she was able to put a down payment down on a home. Her children grew up, and after a few promotions, she finally retired from Ford. The whole time, Michelle had been visiting homeless people in the Detroit area because she once was one, and she got to know their names and their situations, and that's how her group Hugs from Heaven was born. She now drops off food, sleeping bags, socks, shoes, hygiene products. She calls families with updates or just to talk to them. She works with churches to pack lunch boxes to deliver meals to Detroit area homeless. And she also bought a building to rehab for Hugs from Heaven, and once it's fixed up, this location will keep supplies like hygiene products, boxed lunches, blankets, services on where to find mental health and dental care, and to get haircuts. All because Michelle Butler was once homeless. She now knows and has a heart to help the homeless. And on behalf of all of us here at SAY Detroit, that's the kind of story we like to celebrate, and it inspires us. Michelle, please accept a check for $7,500 for Hugs from Heaven. You're welcome.
I'm speechless. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really at a loss for words because I wrote down something to say, but yet I'm speechless. My story, like so many other stories, is one of just trying to survive. And I don't like to refer to the people that I encounter or the individuals that I encounter on the streets as homeless. I call them guests, because I like to make everyone that I encounter feel like they're at home in my heart. Whether you have a physical home to go to, regardless of your academic, your economic, or your social status, I want you to always feel like you are important and you have a home to go to. And with Hugs from Heaven, we will continue to do the work that I know that God has called me to do. I've done this without donations. Basically, everything came out of my pocket, but we continue to do community outreach, clothing drives, food drives, whatever was needed, whatever was necessary to make sure that the individuals that I came across, whether they lived at 8 Mile and Woodward, Michigan Avenue and 94, I-75, Cass Corridor area, it didn't matter. My goal was to make sure that everybody felt as though in my heart, they were at home. And so I always referred to them as guests. And I'm so appreciative. I'm so blessed.
Our final outside group is D2N, Detroit to Nepal. Dr. Richard Kaiden, who is a surgical oncologist, has been a friend to our program for a long time now. He's the founding director of his own charity, D2N. And the grassroots program provided COVID relief efforts in the Highland Park area in 2021. That included senior support, food security, emergency utility grants, mental health counseling, and there was a general assistance fund and more. This year, Richard has started a new project in the Detroit neighborhoods, which will utilize community health workers. This project will increase awareness and access to health care to the members of the community.
It's just been a real honor and experience that's been fantastic over the years working together with SAY Detroit. We've done so many great things together. As you mentioned, this year's donation will help us with our project to address barriers to accessing healthcare in Detroit. And we're going to use lessons learned in Nepal, where we've used female community health volunteers to interface with the community because they're trusted members of the community. They're very effective in exposing individuals to health education and how to access resources that are available. We'll be collaborating with Brilliant Detroit using their hubs since they've been invited into neighborhoods and have a trusting relationship. We'll be identifying women in the neighborhood who will be trained to be female neighborhood health volunteers. We've got Wayne State's Public Health School, Medical School, and the Social Work School to sign on, as well as my physicians group, Michigan Healthcare Professionals.
So the SAY Place Center is a place of excellence. And Eric Reed, who I introduced you to before, as we head into our 7th year, is our new executive director. We are thrilled to have him. Just in a short period of time he's been there, he's put together successful summer camps, expanded partnerships to STEM-based programming, including drone apprenticeship, which of course, why not? Because what else doesn't the rec center have but drone apprenticeships, coding for computers, implementation to ACT and SAT prep for high schoolers, a girls volleyball program. We run so many things, and we have a new annex, multi-million-dollar annex that's being built at SAY Play. So I want to invite Eric Reed to accept basically the budget, a $700,000 donation on behalf of SAY Detroit, and to say a few words about that fantastic program.
Thank you all. This is, first of all, a great event, and I feel blessed to be a part of it for the first time. As Mitch mentioned, came on board in late October, and I hit the ground running, without a doubt. And we've got a tremendous staff with a lot of dedication, a lot of energy, a lot of passion to help young people and families. And so my integration into the culture here has been relatively seamless. A huge thank you to just the numerous donors that contributed the resources that allow us to do our work, as well as some of the partners that are here today. This grant in particular will support the work that we do here on the East Side in so many different ways. in specific are helping us to expand our academic enrichment and next day programs. As Mitch mentioned, the students can't do anything except for eat first before they do academics. Everything else comes secondary. And so the support of this grant will allow us to continue to expand those activities to increase reading and literacy, academic performance, as well as school connectedness and school preparedness. We just initiated a new evidence-based model called Check and Connect. And I believe we're only one of 5 organizations in Southeastern Michigan that have committed to this model, where we are advocates with more than a dozen Detroit area schools. And our staff actually next week will be doing in-school visits once a week, where we're checking on our young students' attendance. We're working with the school to try to address barriers to attendance. As you all know, Detroit has one of the worst chronic absenteeism rates in the United States. And so the Check and Connect program will allow us to be advocates and provide an additional layer of support to our students as well as to our schools. It will help us to expand our summer program opportunities, and we've been meeting right up until this meeting started. I think we're ahead of schedule in terms of preparing for our summer program. We're going to be able to expand opportunities and field trips for students there. One of the things that I'm most excited about with the support of this grant is the opportunity to expand wellness and self-care programming, not only for our students and families, but for our staff. And so
this is going to wrap up our 2022 distribution day, or as we call it, the happiest day of the year, unless you go to Disneyland. And we hope all of you take the money that we are able to distribute and put it to great use. We have no doubt about that. But take more than just the checks that we're giving you. Take the fact that this sort of symbolic image that you see, that you're looking at, is kind of, in a nutshell, it's what we're about. We are all right next to one another. We're all on top, sideways, but we're all part of this same box. And the box is Detroit, and the frame of the box is need. And there's so much need in our city, and all of you are addressing it in so many different ways, and that unites us. And what unites you makes you a family. And so please consider yourselves part of the SAY Detroit family, whether it was a large check, a medium check, a smaller check. You know, next year, we can do more. But the fact is, you're connected, you know one another now, and we're all in the spirit of doing the same thing, which is to make lives better for people who have it perhaps a little worse than we do. And so thank you for the spirit that you all bring. This is the most inspiring day every year for me to see how many people are doing such amazing, great work, and it's awesome.